All right, we got some breaking news. I think this might be the first time I've done breaking news on this channel, but we're going to talk about it on Lion Syndicate as well. Make sure y'all subscribe to Syndicate Sports Detroit Live. We're going to be trying to be live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We got some news, man, and this is big for NFL teams, potentially the Detroit Lions. This is coming from Ian Rappaport, and it says that the Giants, after a week after the trade deadline, the Giants are firing Coach Brian Daboll. Sources say a promising and frustrating season leads New York to have an opening. Well, this is the second coach now fired for the NFL season. He will join Brian Callahan, I believe his name was, with the Tennessee Titans, and this was expected. It's funny how this coach won Coach of the Year over Dan Campbell a few years ago, and I think Kevin Stefanski is going to join him as well as people looking for jobs. Speaking of looking for jobs, the Detroit Lions may be looking for a new OC. We talked about it earlier. Brian Daboll was the OC with the Buffalo Bills before he took the job with the New York Giants. Should the Detroit Lions try to lure him over? Now, a mid-season firing is tough. It's tough because you've got Brian Daboll, who probably will pull the Robert Saleh. You know what I would do if I was Detroit? I would bring him in as a consultant. That's what I would try to do. Bring him in as a consultant, try to get this guy familiar with the team, and maybe like next year, like, listen, if you don't take a coaching job or if we can keep you from Buffalo, then come here. Now, here's the thing. Buffalo has the new stadium being built. They'll be playing there next year. He's familiar. You see the Robert Saleh thing, how Saleh got fired midseason, went back to the 49ers. I see that for Brian Daboll. However, if you want to try something new, right, come on to the D. Come on. It's funny how we were looking at Robert Saleh last year as potentially a new DC, and now we need a new OC, bro. Johnny Morton, after what I saw yesterday, the press conference of him throwing, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he throw people under the bus, man. That's not how we do things in the D. You take responsibility in Detroit. You don't throw your players. You don't throw people under the bus, bro. So if I wouldn't want a person on my staff that throw people under the bus. Kelvin Shepard, he don't throw nobody. As much as Aaron Glenn, there were things about him I didn't like. He didn't throw people under the bus, right? Johnny Morton was like, he pushed you right in front. He final destinationed you. He was like, boom, I'm going to throw you out there. And at this point, and you know what? Maybe he was feeling some type of way because he already knew during his press conference that he was not going to be calling the plays, that Dan Campbell was. So if I am Dan Campbell, I'm going to try to get this guy to come in as some type of consultant. He can come on over here today. Let me see. Bills might fire their OC. Joe Brady is on thin ice even more than now. I'm a tad worried. Okay, let me see. Morton isn't a good fit. I agree. Kira says, yeah, Morton has never taken accountability, though, but he'll for sure take credit for anything good. The guy from the chat last night knew Brian Daboll was gone. Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew it. It was, to me, it was overdue. It was overdue. So the Giants have decided to part ways with Brian Daboll. Could Brian Daboll be? Now, I don't think it's going to happen. There are too many things that need to fall in place. We already know. And then think about this, too. Think about this. You know what? I was going to say, think about the personalities of the two coaches. But then again, we had Aaron Glenn. And Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell, man, they had worked together in New Orleans. But these guys had the very similar personalities, and they worked out just fine. 4 years until one got a head coaching job. So Brian Daboll could be, I would say, come on, bro. I would say, come on. Because you had that Buffalo offense rolling for 4 years, man. I would say, come on. I don't think it's going to happen, though, because there are too many things that, first of all, it's midseason. I think I'm more upset that the Giants couldn't part ways with somebody. Like, now you need a new coach. And I don't know if they're going to get a new GM, but you need a new coach. We could have used somebody. Bro. Because now the Giants are done. They are done, man. What a world the NFL world is. I'm telling you, the NFL truly does stand for not for long. So we got breaking news that Brian Daboll has been fired from the New York Giants after being hired, and he is winning Coach of the Year. And it really does. It really does make you appreciate Dan Campbell. It really does, because in 2022, when we were 1-6, everybody was kind of like, is this the guy? We loved this press conference. But we sucked year one, and we knew that was because of Matt Patricia. But we come out the gate and we 1-6. Historically bad defense. And how at that point, I know some of us was like, is this the guy? And from that point on, the Detroit Lions have not lost 2 consecutive games, regular season games, since. It's been 3+ years. 53 games since the Detroit Lions have lost back-to-back regular season games. This guy has been deprived Coach of the Year twice. One is now gone, and the other one will be joining him this offseason if the Browns are a smart organization, but they're not. So the Giants show their stupidity. They don't move at the trade deadline. They hold on to their coach way too long, and now he is available to be potentially the OC of the Detroit Lions. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you take Brian Daboll at this point? Yes, because I don't want Dan calling plays. I think Dan needs to do what Dan does. I don't want that responsibility on him all the time. I think it will work better if he doesn't. You notice coaches that call offensive plays, soon as something starts going wrong, they want to come in. I don't want him to have that on his plate, but let me know what you think.